Dan Gudino, Cerwin D. Haynes with you on SportsNetUSA.net inside the South Gym, a.k.a. the E-Arena on the campus of East Los Angeles College. Thankful and grateful you could join us for another installment of Huskies basketball. It's the 10th game of the season for the Huskies, and tonight it's North versus South, a South Coast Conference crossover battle. The visiting Vikings of Long Beach fight out of the South Coast Conference South. ELAC is from the South Coast Conference North. The visiting Vikings come in with an 8-2 record. The Huskies come in with a 7-2 record. We'll step aside for the national anthem.
As a reminder, East Los Angeles College and the South Coast Conference follow the rules and regulations of the California Community College Athletic Association. In order to promote good sportsmanship by student athletes, coaches, and fans, we request your cooperation in supporting the student athletes and officials in a positive manner. Profanity, derogatory comments, or other intimidating actions directed at athletes, officials, team representatives, or other fans will not be tolerated and are grounds for removal. And now, may you remove your hats and stay standing for our national anthem, performed tonight by Leslie Franklin, the mom of Huskies forward, Christian. And now let's introduce the starters for tonight's game. First, for the visiting Vikings. At guard, number 1, Lorenzo Marsh. At guard, number 4, Chris Herrera. At guard, number 5, Cameron Mahan. At guard, number 10, Bernard Johnson Jr. And at guard, number 23, Shane Hunter. With assistant coaches Danny Lawton, Jose Luis, Sergio Guzman, the head coach in his 14th season for the Vikings is Barry Barnes. And now for the starters for your ELAC Huskies. Noel Scott. At guard, number 4, Demetrius Callan. There is a correction. Number 4 is not starting. All right. Starting at guard, number 10, John Sanders.
I was going to go do Christmas lights. Yeah, I got the call on the way to Christmas lights.
At guard, number 11, Corey Cofield.
Yeah, they ain't going nowhere. No.
At forward, number 20, J.T. Langston. And at guard forward, number 24, Tyrell Hunt. With assistant coaches Kenneth Hunter, Frankie Aguilar, and Levi Wenrich. The head coach for the Huskies in an 11th season is John Mosley. Let's play basketball.
Thankful and grateful you could join us for another installment of Huskies basketball. Dan Gudino alongside Cerwin D. Haynes. Huskies come in with a 7-2 record. Long Beach 8-2, a top 25 matchup within the South Coast Conference. Long Beach representatives of the SCC North. Huskies representatives of the SCC South. This one's going to be a really tight battle. Two teams that do it completely different. In boxing terms, the saying goes, styles make fights. Long Beach is currently the highest scoring team in Southern California. ELAC has allowed the second least points in Southern California. So whose style will prevail? Will defense win it tonight, or is it the best defense, a good offense? And this one's going to be fun, Cerwin.
Yeah, I think so. One thing that Coach Mosley does worry about and pays a great amount of attention to is the teams that can play styles that can seem to counter his style well. You know, he gets really worried about teams like that. He likes to have a little extra time to prepare his guys to play teams like that. But Vikings obviously at 8-2, 2 days after a tough road win for the Huskies, and we'll get to that later, Dan. But you know, it's always fun to play the Vikings. You remember from football, we had the classic, the President's Clash with them. So it's always fun to play the Vikings, a very game opponent on all ends in all sports throughout the SEC.
It's Husky basketball. Quick inbound to Cofield from Sanders. Back outside to Morrell. Morrell push pass to Sanders again. Sanders around the arc, hands it off to Cofield. Cofield from the elbow back to Sanders. It's just 4 days after the world premiere of Netflix docuseries Last Chance U Basketball Season 2. So no hangover, it's back to work, and Long Beach will open up the scoreboard 2-0, just underway. 19:30 to go in this first half. Dan Gudino alongside Cerwin D. Haynes. Here's Langston on the elbow, hands off to Cofield. Cofield launches, rims out, grabs his own, puts it back up, too strong. Langston there, and gets the friendly roll. 2-all here.
That's one way how the Huskies came back in the game up at Porterville, is that they just used their physicality and athleticism to crash the boards and get second and third chances on offensive rebounds.
A lot of controversy from that Porterville game. We'll get into that a little bit later as Shane Hunter on the left side gives the Vikings a 4-2 lead. Here's Scott driving on the baseline, kicks out to Terrell. Terrell with the basketball. Will lift for three and gets it.
No, it looks like they're pointing. They're only calling it a 2. We got a foot on the line.
Foot on the line makes it 4-all. 18:30 to go, first half.
But it's good to see him take that outside shot because it's evidence that he expanded his range over the summer.
That's Mahan, too strong on that attempt. Straight into the hands of Hunt. Hunt across the logo. Scott will lift for three.
Scott, one of the leading scorers on the team. He can score at different levels on the court.
7-4 Huskies, 18:05 first half. This is Johnson Jr. with the basketball. Launches a deep one, way off the mark, straight into the hands of Cofield. Cofield, bounce pass to the corner to Scott. Too strong there, turnover against East LA.
Had the right idea, but probably maybe not the right good enough angle on that bounce pass. Maybe a different pass might have gotten there, getting Noel, maybe an open look from the corner.
So Thursday night, some controversy made for the big screen, right? Huskies came away with the 58-55 win over Porterville College off a last chance three-pointer that was negated because of a flop call. Here, the runner by Herrera finds the net.
No flap there. Touchdown pass to Tyrell Hunt, and the shot is good, and the foul, Dan.
So the Huskies go up 3 points, 9-6, 17-22 in this first half. So going back to the Porterville College game.
Yes, let's talk about that.
Yeah, so the East LA usually doesn't get the calls. Usually they got the bullseye on their backs, but on the road at Porterville, they got a call on their behalf that decided the ball game, controversy and all. They'll take it, right?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. You take the win anytime, any way you can get it. You know, yeah, you would think that, you know, home court advantage with the referees and everything, maybe that would have something to do with it. As you see, the Huskies foul Long Beach there. Looks like we're going to have Cameron Mahan is going to go to the line for two. So the play's been played over a bunch, hundreds of times on Twitter. It elicited a very healthy conversation back and forth on what the call was versus what the call should have been. So what happened as the first free throw rims out is that Portersville player on the near wing side here shoots a three and makes the three. But it looks like he kicked out his right foot and it interfered with the Husky defender. So the referee saw that and called a flop. So not only did that negate the three-pointer, as that free throw is good, not only did it negate the three, but on a flop call, it's a one-shot penalty for the for the defense. In that case, the Huskies not only got the 3 points back, as that baseline jumper rimmed out, in and out and back out, as Long Beach is advancing the ball quickly into their front court. So not only did they negate the three-pointer, but the Huskies got to shoot a free throw on top of that. So there's a Huskies still there to
Here the Huskies come up with the fast break steal. Cofield double clutches and gets it on the right side. 12-7 Huskies, 16:30 to go.
Yeah, Cofield, the 2021-22 South Coast Conference North Player of the Year.
With the basketball, it's Hunter. Hunter drives, whistle on the floor before the shot. Noel Scott is charged at the 16:22 mark.
We put a star next to Shane Hunter because he's a starter, but I will also put a star next to him because at 6'4", 200, it seems like he has the girth to probably bowl his way into the paint. So I want to see how the Huskies keep him out of the paint area.
Johnson attacking, loses the basketball. Cofield comes up with it nearly, but he's pushed. So a foul against Long Beach as Cofield was about to come up with the steal. Gets dropped right in front of his bench, and a turnover against the Vikings at the 16:11 mark. 12-7 Huskies.
One thing you can do to stop inside penetration is to keep the guards from penetrating in the first place. And how you do that is you pressure the ball handlers on the perimeter on the defense.
Down low to Langston, working away against the double team, throws it up. He's fouled on his way up. 15 minutes, 58 seconds. Thankful and grateful you could join us. Just 4 days after the world premiere of Last Chance U basketball season 2, it's been really remarkable how much attention the squad has received from not only in the States but around the world.
Yeah, we've gotten emails from Paris, France about getting gear, about getting Husky gear.
That's awesome.
Which we got to try and see if we can figure that out, Dan, because we do have a Husky store, as that free throw is missed, but it only ships to within the States.
Marsh Jumper rims out, in and out. Cofield rebound. Ahead to Scott on the right side. Scott dribbling around behind the arc. 15 minutes, 40 seconds. Scott working, Scott pumping, Scott with the fake, Cofield with the finish, left side.
Now, Scott missed that, but let me tell you, that looked a lot like a certain New York Knicks point guard who is now makes post moves like that in the paint just on the regular, Jalen Brunson. So that was very Brunson-esque there, moved by Scott. He didn't make it, but like Cofield was there to clean up the miss.
For
but
those
very,
who don't know, my partner here, Cerwin Haynes from New York, he'll always come up with the New York analogies. At the 15:25 mark, a timeout called by Long Beach. Huskies ahead, 15-7 here on SportsNetUSA.net.
.25 left in the first half. Huskies with a 15-7 lead. We got some early stats. Corey Cofield out of the clubhouse early with 4 points on 2 of 4 shooting. Noel Scott's got himself a 3-pointer. And then you have JT Langston, who's got a field goal and 1 out of 2 from the free throw line. And as you see, Tyrell Hunt muscle inside for some inside G's there, Dan. So 17-7 lead for the Huskies.
10-point lead. Huskies dominant inside the box, under 15 minutes to go.
And I misspoke. I said Corey Cofield was the leader. It's actually Tyrell Hunt, who has 5 points. Now he has 7 with that bucket.
Here with the basketball is Chris Herrera. To the near side to Johnson, who gets popped by Sanders.
That was kind of incidental because Sanders' momentum was what carried it into the player, because Sanders thought he can get a hand on the ball, and he kind of arrived when the ball arrived, and he kind of bodied up the Viking player there. So incidental contact.
Johnson against Sanders here. 14:40 on the clock. Will launch a 25-footer.
With a hand in his face, too, that made it. It's pretty impressive.
Deficit cut to 7. 17 for the Huskies, 10 for the Vikings. Here's Langston. Will hand off to Scott. Scott will lift at the free throw line. Doesn't get it, but Hunt there to recover. Second opportunity for the Huskies. Down low to Cofield. Cofield can't handle. Shane Hunter comes up with the steal across the logo at the 14:10 mark now.
You know, that last Long Beach streak, you kind of got to live with it because it was pretty well guarded. He just got to kind of step back, hit it with a hand in his face. As Long Beach kicks out, could have shot a perimeter. Huskies defense moving their feet. That shot far off rim, no good.
It was Marsh too strong on that attempt. Hunt will lift just in front of the three-point line, and that is pure. 19 for the Huskies,
hey,
10 for the Vikings, 13:45 to go.
Last year we called him Mr. Midrange. Mr. Midrange has extended his midrange.
Herrera will launch a 3, whips the net, and 1 against Scott. Cuts the deficit to 6, 19-13 in favor of your Huskies. 13:37 left first half.
So we're just wondering now, okay, that's the second three-pointer that Long Beach has hit with a man in their face. And so at first when I said, okay, you know what, the first one was well guarded, you know, you give that to him. But if this is the ability of the Vikings, the Huskies may need to think about how they guard the perimeter as that free throw rims out.
Into the game for East Los Angeles is Donjay Lindsay. Here he is with the basketball, driving straight to the cup, loses the basketball. Jump ball will be called. Possession arrow in favor of the Vikings. So a turnover against East LA at the 13:26 mark.
Good job there by Long Beach to tie him up before he got his gather. As he was gathering to go up with the ball, they tied the ball up right there and caused him to stop. So good job there by Long Beach.
Possession goes to the Vikings.
These two teams know each other very well. Both fight out of the South Coast Conference. Of course, East LA from the north, Long Beach from the south. Here's Herrera. Before the game, we were watching film, And Herrera was one of the players that was focused by Coach John Mosley as he gets an assist inside to Shane Hunter for a slam. Now a 19-15 game. There's Lindsay, pushes it to Cofield. Cofield back on top to Hunt. Hunt will live from 18 again. Hunt's really got the best shot from the Huskies.
Yeah, and
his form and everything.
Yeah, that's a very pure form. That's why you hope that he can eventually extend it out past the three-point line because it is a very good-looking shot.
There's Mahan who responds with the three of his own. 21 for the Huskies. Now the Vikings with 18, 12:35. Here's Sanders driving, loses the basketball straight into the hands of Marsh. No contact. Here's Herrera lobbing it up to Marsh. Layup good, 1 point lead now for East LA. 12:20 left, first half.
You see that Long Beach has responded out of the first timeout with their three-point shooting. Huskies with a three of their own, good.
Lindsay extends the lead.
Lindsay for three.
That was the three. The score should read 24-20, correct?
Yeah, it looks like that was a three.
I could be wrong. As the Huskies come up with a turnover.
It was a three.
Here's Sanders to the corner. That's Lindsay. He'll lift again.
Another three.
Feeling it. So it should read 27.
27. Yep, we got it.
Yeah, so it's 27-20, 11:35 to go. Here's Herrera for the Vikings.
Thanks, Drum.
Vikings short on that attempt. Huskies pushing the other way. Lindsay finds Sanders. Sanders drives, baseline, tries to tomahawk it down, but Langston tries to put it up. He can't get it. Here's Herrera for the Vikings against Hunt. He'll lift. Jumper is good.
You know, it's because I think Lindsay, I know he had an opening there, but I didn't think he had the right angle for a dunk. I thought maybe he should have just laid it off the glass. But either way, Huskies are here with the ball. They're up 5. It looks like they weathered that storm. And it's just as soon as I said that, Long Beach got the steal on a breakaway basket. Blocked there by JT Langston. Excellent block as both players hit the floor.
Here's Lindsay faking, shooting, three, short. Rebound, Mahan. Action-packed game early on, 10:40 to go. 5-point lead for your Huskies. Here's Herrera against Sanders. That'll be Johnson Jr.
With a three.
Coach Mosley has seen enough at the 10:27 mark. He'll discuss most likely defense on his end. Huskies 27, Vikings 25 here on Sportsnet USA.net. Glad you could join us for another installment of Huskies basketball here on Sportsnet USA.net. Dan Gudino, Cerwin D. Haynes bringing you the action inside the arena. The South Gym on the campus of East LA College. It'll be Husky basketball out of the timeout. Close game. SEC crossover match. Demetrius Calip into the game.
Good crowd tonight, too.
There's Calip. He gets fouled instantly by Bernard Johnson.
Foul charge for the Vikings, number 10,
So
Johnson.
you're probably wondering if that three-point defense was the item of contention for Coach Mosley on that timeout. And it looks like Long Beach looks like they're the type of shooters that they just let it fly. You know, if they get an inch of daylight, they could just let it fly and they can make it. So it's got to give the coaching staff for the Huskies something to think about.
Lindsay attacks, off balance, can't get it. Gregory Melvin saves it. No, actually foot on the line, so Viking basketball, 9:55 first half, 27-25, Husky lead.
You know, I look at Gregory Melvin. He's 6'7", but he seems like he's taller than almost everybody on the court. Something about his frame and the way he plays and his gait that makes him look taller than maybe even the 6'7" that he's listed as.
Could be his good-looking hair too, brother.
It could. It could. Give him an extra inch as a foul called on the drive there.
That was Hunter on the drive, so a blocking foul against the Huskies. Into the game is Eli Cofield. Sitting down will be Hunt.
Sidebar, I'm looking at our fearless leader and athletic director, Bobby Gudino. This is the first time I'm seeing him in months with no ELAC gear on.
Here's Mahan. Mahan against the Huskies is fouled. 9:31 on the clock. 2-point lead.
Because I'm looking at him like, what's different about him? Like, oh, he doesn't have any ELAC gear. He doesn't have a coaching gear. ELAC nothing on. He's got on, look at his sneakers.
I wish we could put the camera on him.
Yeah, I wish we could. A time we get Coach Gudino's looking chic here as Long Beach
is off the mark, and a push-off foul. Push-off against Mahan is called. 9:25 first half.
Another one thing I'm thinking about, one thing that good teams do is they weather storms, right, Dan? Whenever another team makes their push, they may put on a little run, but the team that's good, they don't lose their composure when the other team makes their run and puts the push on. They're able to withstand it, maybe find a way to counter it, and if either they don't give up the lead, or if they give up the lead, they get the lead right back. So looks like the Huskies may be showing signs of weathering this storm, this mini run that Long Beach put together with their three-point shooting. As
Mahan will sit down, and Reginald Johnson Jr., the product from Carson, California, inserted into the game as Cofield will miss the 1-and-1. Huskies fighting for it underneath. Here are the Vikings attacking. 9:15 left. Trying to tie it up here or take the lead. That's Bernard Johnson who will launch a 24-footer short.
Long Beach thought they had an offensive rebound, but they stepped out of bounds on the baseline.
Husky basketball here. So the Huskies come in as the 12th ranked team. Long Beach number 18, top 25 matchup inside the arena. Down low to Cofield. Cofield going to work. Right side, too strong. Rebound. Johnson of the Vikings.
Hopefully you won't get discouraged, because that was actually a really good shot. You were able to rise up and get a clear look at the rim. Again, you just put it up a little too strong and rimmed out.
There's Germany. Pushes it left side to Hunter. Hunter spinning on Melvin. Loses the basketball, but straight into the hands of Reginald Johnson. Tie ball game, 27-all, 8:25 left first half.
For the Huskies, you're hoping that you can put away the Vikings here, because that would cap off quite a run, a 5-game win streak. It concludes a big win against top 25, as well as the number 1 team in the state. So you know that will help shoot their ranking straight up.
Here's Shane Hunter. Push it to the corner to Herrera, who will dribble out of the corner against Gallup. He'll drive. Kicks out too strong, too high. Turnover against the Vikings. Into the game for East LA is Benjamin Jones. Out of the game, Corey Cofield.
Like you said, Demetrius Gallup, one of the featured players on Last Chance U. His father played in the NBA, also played for the University of Michigan during their Fab 5 years.
Don't forget the LA Lakers.
Yep.
7:50 left first half. Here's Gallup, also known as DC. DC, the lefty, stops at the free throw area, looking, down low to Cofield, grabs his zone, tries to go behind the back, getting too fancy there. Turnover against East LA, 7:30 left. Here's Hunter against Cofield, will drive, kicks out. Wide open is Herrera, rattles one home. Viking lead for the first time in this ball game, 30-27, Vikings. Here's Melvin, he'll try to tie it up, too strong. Grabs his own, fighting underneath. Gets another opportunity, too strong on that attempt. Here come the Vikings. Vikings inside of Herrera. Herrera, left side, the lefty banks it off the glass. Under 7 minutes to go. Biggest lead of the game for the Vikings, 32-27, 6:50 left.
Huskies got to focus on their offensive execution. They can't get too rattled with these three-pointers that Long Beach is hitting.
A foul called on the floor. That's Brandon Cerda pushing on Ben Jones.
Vikings number 2, Brandon Cerda.
So JT Langston, John Sanders will come back into the game. Caleb and Eli Cofield will sit down. 6:45 to go. Scott will come back in as well as Lindsay will sit down.
Yeah, Lindsay, some good minutes, but Coach Mosley with this bench unit, even though they were able to score a few buckets, but unfortunately they did give up the lead here, so Mosley looking to probably filter his starters back in so they can get this deficit down and get the lead back as they trail by 4 here. 6:45 left in the first half.
The final game of the Riverside tournament against Riverside, the only players that scored were starters. Everyone else was shut out. 5 players, 5 scores. That's it throughout the whole game. It was an interesting game. It was a game that ELAC won formidably, but very interesting how no one on the bench got involved other than, of course, on defense. Here, 6:35 to go, 32-29 in favor of East LA. With the basketball, Cerda. Cerda gets it over to Johnson. Back on top, that's Germany. Germany will lift from above the key, too strong. Jones rebound. Here's Sanders. The Coastal Carolina commit goes inside to Langston. Langston to a cutting Melvin, too strong. Langston tries to hammer it down. Can't get it, but he is fouled underneath the rim.
He's such a pogo stick, JT Langston is.
Foul charge to the Vikings, number 1.
He's got the size of what you would consider a small forward, but you could play him at power forward because of his springiness. And he does have some post awareness and post moves on offense as well.
So that was on the dunk attempt, so 2 at the stripe here.
First free throw is good. We have seen an overall improvement in the Huskies' free throw shooting so far this season. We're noticing that guys are more and more hitting their free throws. Usually years they would be around in the mid 60% range. But here, as JT made 2, we're seeing more of that. More guys, Huskies making 2 or 2 from the line when they get their shots. So they'll need to do that, especially as the league season goes on. They'll come back to their advantage.
Hunter against Melvin. Hunter asking for a screen. Will spin, will lift. Off the back iron, grabs his own. To the corner, that's Cerda. Cerda whips the net. Extends the lead. Coach Mosley and the Huskies will call time out. 35 for the Vikings, 31 for East LA. 5:49 to go, first half here on SportsNetUSA.net.
.549 left in the first half at the Huskies trail the Vikings of Long Beach 35-31. Our coaches to the right of us, who are football coaches who are working the table here, mentioned talking about Melvin for Long Beach, that his physicality, his shape looks. He's he's 6'4". Shane Hunter, 6'4", 200. It looks like a football player. And I think because our coaches are football coaches, I think they might be thinking about, maybe we can get him to transfer for during the spring after basketball. Maybe we can use him on the football field for the Huskies. You know, coaches
now
never.
he's a Viking.
Yes, for now he's a Viking.
And he's doing well against East LA at
yes,
the
he is.
5:43 mark, 35-31 as Scott will go to the stripe.
As you know, coaches never stop recruiting, right? First free throw good by Scott.
So Huskies currently on a 4-game win streak as Langston comes up with a missed free throw. So another possession granted to East LA here. A screen by Melvin. Sanders will go around it, back to Melvin. Melvin hands off to Scott. Scott against Herrera to the corner. That's Sanders, gets the three. Coastal Carolina commit, showing you why he's a D1 player as he ties up the ball game. 35 all, 5:15 left. First half.
And you know what is good? You don't want to see the Huskies get into a three-point battle with a team that might be more designed to shoot threes, but Huskies making a three here and there keeps their offense honest. So it's good to see them make those threes every now and then.
Hunter under 5 seconds, too strong. The putback, a foul on the putback by Bernard Johnson. I believe he was pushed from behind by Noel Scott of East LA, so he'll get 2 at the line and a chance to give the Vikings back the lead at the 4:51 mark.
And I'm sure Coach Mosley's not happy about that offensive rebound because you got a guy who is about 6'3", jumping and beating guys forward 6'5", 6'6" to the rim there and to the backboard to get that rebound. So Huskies are usually very strong on the glass, but you know, credit to Long Beach for getting that offensive rebound there and on the putback, got fouled, pushing it back as you said, and they're at the line.
Decent crowd at hand, about 300 plus inside the arena.
Pretty good crowd, I would say. We ran out of programs early, which is something we usually don't do this early in the season. I didn't anticipate we have that many people. It is a pleasant surprise.
Camry, Germany at the line, makes the first one, gives the Vikings now a 2-point lead. Into the game is Bernard Johnson. Out of the game is Germany. 4:51 first half. There's Sanders, pushes it right side to Jones. Jones looking, gets it to Sanders. Sanders to Cofield. Cofield puts it on the floor once, picks it up. It's Sanders again. Sanders showing his moves. Oh, and he walks, pivot foot, slid.
Good defense there by Long Beach. It just denied the Huskies their passing lanes. You saw the Huskies were trying to kick it inside, and Long Beach wouldn't let them.
Huskies apply a press. Will follow Serta into the front court.
Out of Wakeland, Frisco, Texas, Serta is. A good deal to play some ball for the Vikings.
Serta on the elbow, wide open. JT Langston jumps into the picture. Good block. Here's Jones. Jones underneath to Melvin. Too strong, but a foul. 4:04 left first half. Huskies trail by 2, 37-35.
Not only is that the second block for Langston, that's the second block where he just erased a layup, basically. It would have been a short 2 points. So him, that springiness and his length really come into play.
A week ago at the RCC tournament, Langston had 7 blocks in the game. So that's just what he does. He's just doing his work. As Melvin makes the first one. Second one on the way, whipping the net. Tie ball game once again. Melvin will sit down. Terrell will be inserted back in. 4:04 left here. The Huskies will apply a full court press.
You have all starters except for Benjamin Jones, who's on the court right now.
On the floor for the Huskies, Cofield, Hunt, Sanders, Jones, and Langston. 3:55 to go, tie ball game. A close battle. Driving is Johnson, left side.
Yeah, good body position on that layup and kind of used the rim to shield away the block attempt by JT Langston, who drives here. Got his shot blocked, but a foul.
Ooh, Vikings in disagreement of the call.
Yeah, they thought they had a clean block there, but
Lately, the Zebras have been calling everything in favor of East LA, a la Porterville College.
Maybe the referees are fans of Last Chance Shoe. But we're just kidding. But yeah, that call against Porterville as JT hits the first free throw. I mean, I was talking to Bobby about it, Bobby Gudino, and he and our conference commissioner apparently know someone, friends with someone who is an NBA referee. And the referee, as that free throw was missed, rebounded by Long Beach, referee was willing to go on record to say that was the correct call.
Here's Serta operating the point guard for Long Beach against Jones, and Jones gets a little too handsy there as the Huskies trail by one. Thin point lead for the Vikings. 3:27 left, first half. Really thankful, really grateful you could join us. If you're just joining us, this is a South Coast Conference crossover battle. It's North versus South. East LA representatives of the North.
Speaking of representatives and opponents, as that free throw is good by Serta. You know, the Huskies have the #2 RPI in the state.
Interesting.
And, you know, and that was a big concern last year because coming back from COVID, as that free throw was missed, Coach Mosley was worried about the team's strength of schedule, particularly when it came into conference play.
Here's Hunt for three, too strong. Serta rebound. It actually last touch a Husky. Serta was asking for a foul, said he got slapped in the face.
It's a rough game sometimes. Yeah.
Johnson Jr. inserted into the game as Cameron Mahan will sit down for the Vikings. Oliver into the game for the first time as Terrell Hunt will sit down for East LA.
Christian Oliver, his mom, was the one that sung the national anthem earlier. Sung it very beautifully. She's
Way.
more than welcome to come back and sing it at any time. And I think we have a celebrity in the house. As that jumper is missed by Long Beach, but Serta got his own rebound, tried to save it. Nope, it's out of bounds. As we look to the far corner, I think that's Joe Hampton, Dan.
Substitution for the Vikings into the game.
Former Long Beach 49er, now playing pro ball in Venezuela. And, of course, an alum of East LA College, most known for season 1 of Last Chance U basketball. Here's Cofield, goes to work. Cofield, double clutching and one.
Tough shot.
Tie, ball game, 40 all, 2:43 to go.
He was kind of fading towards, sideways to the basket, almost parallel to the basket, and he just had a double clutch and just put that up, flung it up with one hand, one arm as he was hit. So good strength there to be able to muscle that shot in with the contact.
So Cofield will be at the line trying to give back the Huskies the lead for the first time since the 9-minute mark of this first half. So Huskies lead it. Thin 1-point lead. Serta into the front court against Jones. 2:30 left. Serta attacks, throws it up. Way too strong. Ahead to Cofield. Cofield wide open lane. Lays it up. Lays it in.
You know, I think it's smart that he went for the layup because the extension on the layup with his gait and trying to beat the defender to the cup, I think served better than trying to go for a dunk there.
Here's Serta, fakes right, goes left. Gets it into the hands of Herrera. Herrera against Jones, he's double teamed. Kicks it to the corner, baseline. That's Johnson Jr. against Cofield. Will launch a 26-footer off the front side of the rim into the hands of Langston. Cofield now, back to Sanders.
You gotta give Benjamin Jones credit for moving his feet on the perimeter there on defense.
Cofield going back to work, gets double team, off the double team.
And it's going the other way. Oh, they called offensive foul?
Yeah, a little bit of an elbow there given by Cofield. 1:44 left, 43-40 in favor of East LA.
I guess that ref didn't watch last year's shoot. Ball's inbound, and we see Joe Hampton here. You know who was here the other day as well? We missed not to mention Deshaun Hyla, your Iron Man from the 2019-20 season, as Benjamin almost got a steal there. Again, Benjamin very active on the perimeter with his defense, getting some extra minutes here. Long Beach inbounds.
That's Corrali Mila making his first appearance for the Vikings. Serta, 3. Serta, short. Loose ball into the hands of Langston. Langston will bring it right to left. 1:20 left. Oliver left wide open. Deceptive. He could shoot the ball, not that time, but he's been known to drain a three-pointer. The big man, the center,
Yes, he can.
is always given the green light to shoot it.
Yes, he can. You know, people will probably be fooled by the fact he's 6'11", but he can shoot it. We've seen him hit a couple of threes last year.
Down low to Johnson Jr. Kisses it off the glass.
Johnson for 2.
Ahead to Cofield with 50 seconds to go.
Huskies up 1. Probably, I don't know if they probably play 2 for 1. I don't know if Coach Mosley is into that type of thing. But got about 14 seconds on the clock here. Huskies looking for their shot.
Mosley barks into play. Here's Langston at the elbow. To the corner, to Sanders. Off the mark. Ahead to Herrera. Herrera nearly loses it. Long Beach will hold it for a last possession here. 15 seconds.
Go back and get it.
10 seconds.
Oh, good
Cofield
defense.
nearly comes up with it. Left alone is Herrera. 3 seconds. Langston will have to hurry. He launches it. Nearly gets it. It's halftime. And the Huskies will go into the locker room with a thin 1-point lead. 43-42 over the visiting Vikings, partner.
Yeah, exciting game. We built it as this one's going to be a top 25 contest, and it's lived up to that. Huskies pulled out early with a 15-7 lead, but the Long Beach responded with the perimeter shots and the three-pointers. So ever since then, it's kind of been back and forth. The Huskies trying to tighten up their perimeter defense, and Long Beach has had some good defensive stints on their own. So we'll just take a break here and see what Coach Mosley what type of adjustments he has in store for after halftime.
Stick around. Second half action coming up here on SportsNetUSA.net.
Yeah, we can lock it. Yeah, we lock it. Yeah, lock it.
Start of the second half inside the arena on the campus of East Los Angeles College. The Beach against the East here. A 43-42 lead for East Los Angeles. Leading the charge for East Los Angeles was Terrell Hunt with his 11 points. On the other side, it was Cameron Mahan who had 10 points. East LA basketball to start the second half. Dan Gudino alongside Cerwin D. Haynes. Here's Cofield on the wing, still looking.
5 second
whistle.
call. Yeah. He's trying to find, looks like he's trying to find a passing lane into the paint. We're going, again, Long Beach playing some good defense, denying the passing lane, so got caught with a 5 second call.
So a turnover to start the second half against East LA. Just underway, 19:40 to go, top 25 matchup within the South Coast Conference. Here's Herrera. Outside to Johnson Jr. Doesn't get a friendly rope, but a second opportunity for Mahan as he goes up and is fouled.
You know, you had 3 Huskies kind of box him in there. Maybe wonder if instead of trying to all jump to contest the shot, they should just put their hands up and made him force up a very difficult shot from right under the rim. Instead, the Huskies commit the foul there.
Huskies in the first half shooting 42%. Long Beach very accurate at 58.3%. From behind the arc, the Vikings shot 6 of 10, while the Huskies drained 3 of 5 from behind the arc. As the Vikings take their first lead of the second half. 44-43 Vikings, 19 minutes, 20 seconds. Second half action here. Here's Sanders, high post to Hunt. Hunt continues his streaky shooting. He's now 6 of 8 this evening with 13 points. He's the leading scorer of this game. Loose ball, Sanders will come up with it. Excuse me, that's Cofield to Sanders. Sanders will pull up for 3, short. Langston's there, fighting, can't get it, but he'll get 2 at the stripe.
Hey, good strength there by JT just to be able to muscle that ball up towards the rim to be able to get the shooting foul, draw the shooting foul, as he was definitely hacked there.
Langston this evening with 5 points. He's 1 of 1 at the line. Now 2 of 2.
Some confusion there as Long Beach is trying to get their lineup for the free throw shot situated.
So the Huskies trying to move into the top 10 in the state, currently ranked number 12. And a win against the Vikings will definitely help. Off the Langston miss, it's a rebound by Hunter. Hunter spinning at the elbow, clutching, and gets it off the glass. So tie ball game now. Ahead to Cofield. Oh, Cofield from the wing to the lane, tries to double clutch one. Doesn't get it, way off the mark. Here's Hunter, a steal.
Good steal, but
Scott into the passing lane. Scott to the corner, Cofield, baseline, Scott, short, Cofield, left hand, layup.
and that's one thing that the Huskies can do is they can use their springiness and athleticism to chase down offensive boards to give them second chance points.
And that's the way the Huskies are gonna have to win it. In this one, they're gonna have to use their size as the runner by Herrera is splashed home. And a tie ball game as Long Beach will call timeout at the 17:59 mark. 48 Hall here on SportsNetUSA.net.
Hey, Pepsi, if you want to sponsor ELAC half.
Tie ball game inside the South Gym, a.k.a. the E-Arena. We call it the E-Arena because we've got dreams of playing in bigger arenas. 17:59 to go, second half, 48 all. A battle within the South Coast Conference here. It'll be Husky basketball out of the timeout as the Vikings staying in the hunt in this one.
Got to think that Coach Mosley is happy with the quality of opponents that he's been playing so far. As we mentioned, that the Huskies have the #2 RPI in the state as Scott's lay-in drops in. Huskies with the 2-point lead again. #2 RPI in the state, playing tough opponents like Long Beach, like Cerritos.
And they just added West Valley to the schedule.
Yeah, West Valley was a
Tuesday.
late add. We'll be heading up to, I forget the name of the city, town or city, but it's right south of San Jose. So going up to NoCal.
Huskies into the game, number 12, Benjamin Jones.
Ben Jones inserted as Cofield will sit down
Didn't they
for
play
East
West
LA.
Valley? I'm sorry, didn't they play West Valley last year?
They did.
Yeah, they played up in Fresno, a
right.
neutral site game.
Huskies
that was a
came
late
away
ad.
with the victory in that one.
Yeah, and that was a late ad too. That game was a late ad.
Here, Viking basketball. Inbounding will be Herrera. Looking. Still looking. Pushes it to Hunter. Hunter, three, splashes it home, and a lead for the Vikings. 51-50, 17 minutes, 10 seconds to go. Second half. Here's Hunt. Down low to Scott. Scott on the baseline, fighting through the contact. Can't get it. Rebound, Marsh. Here's Shane Hunter of the Vikings against Hunt. Kicks back out to Marsh. Marsh splashes another one.
Just no hesitation when Long Beach fires these three-pointers.
It's just a 4-point lead, but the biggest lead for the Vikings this evening. Down low to Langston. Langston can't handle it.
Maybe a jump ball.
Possession arrow in favor of...
Looks like it's going to Long Beach.
Yeah, Viking basketball now, so dangerous times now.
For the Vikings.
16:40 left, second half.
Just one of the things about riding the storm, okay, you know, what happens, Long Beach hits a few threes, you gotta have to figure a way to get them out of their rhythm. So one way is to keep pressuring them on the perimeter, pressuring the ball handling.
It's Mahan, down low, Hunt taps it. Here's Herta to the corner, Marsh again. Vikings pumped up and a 7-point lead.
Long Beach is getting some rhythm here, particularly with their offense is starting to fuel their defenses. They're starting to deny the Huskies the lanes.
Langston throws it up. And he's fouled on the floor. Did it happen on the shot, though? Doesn't look like it. Yeah, Husky basketball. They'll be inbounding on the baseline.
Long Beach is kind of feeling themselves now. I mean, to give them, you got to give them some credit. They've had some nifty passing along the perimeter to find the open man in the corner there for three. So they've been executing pretty well these last few minutes offensively.
Substitutions coming in for Long Beach. Cameron Mahan will sit down as Reginald Johnson Jr. will step on to the floor for the Vikings. First time in this second half. Sanders down low to Scott. Oh, and a push off called against Scott. So all the momentum has shifted into the hands of the Vikings in this second half. Biggest deficit of the game for East LA. Husky bench trying to get the Huskies in it. Here's Sanders harassing Marsh. Marsh against Scott. Loose ball. Jones will be called for a foul.
got too much of the arm there when he went to go rip the ball out.
On the clock, 15 minutes, 40 seconds left, so plenty of basketball left.
And you see that Benjamin Jones is in. I thought he played some good perimeter defense in the first half when he was in, and he moved his feet really well. So Huskies can use that right now as Long Beach is starting to feel it from the perimeter, heating up from the perimeter this first 3 minutes of the second half.
In film session earlier this afternoon, that's what Coach Mosley was trying to drill him on, was the perimeter shooting was going to be a cause for concern here this evening. And now with the 7-point lead, the Vikings definitely showing that the three-point game is part of the game. Shane Hunter with the basketball against Hunt. 10 seconds on the shot clock now.
Huskies looking, trying to pick up their perimeter defense. Again, another
wide
open
open, Mahan, no, Jones, rebound. Huskies got number, Scott driving, kicks out, down low to Hunt. Over to Langston, who tomahawks it down. Hopefully that's a momentum shifter there. 57-52, 15:05 to go, second half. Dan Gudino alongside Cerwin D. Haynes here on SportsNetUSA.net, the home of the Huskies. Mahan against Langston. Langston too tall. Oh, he gets fouled. Langston shaking his head like, nuh-uh. That wasn't me. Oh, Langston is the one who's charged.
Bit of a late call. I guess maybe they felt that he impeded on the shooter's ability to come down in space. Because it didn't look like the call was initially on the actual shot itself. It was like he didn't hit him in the arm or anything like that. So that's something that's being paid a lot of attention, that space there for shooters and defenders to come down on off jump shot attempts, which was the cause of contention at Porterville College a couple of nights ago.
Mahan now 5 of 6 from the line, so does a great job at the stripe.
Just kind of has the shot goes straight up, but it kind of just rolls off. You see it rolls off his fingertips. So
he's 6 of 7 now at the free throw line. 59-52. Huskies trail, 14:45 to go. Sanders fakes like he's shooting. It's Langston. He'll attack. Langston off balance. Can't get it. He'll get 2 at the line.
We saw in the Porterville game, the way the Huskies can get back into the game is kind of they got to kind of grind it down. You know, yes, they're down 7 right now. Okay, you're at 14:38. You're thinking, okay, in the next 4 minutes, they can get to the 10-minute mark within 4 or 5 points. Kind of, hold serve a bit and then make their move maybe with 4 minutes remaining of the game.
We talked about it prior to the game. Styles make fights. Whose style's going to prevail in this one? Long Beach, the highest scoring team in Southern California. East Los Angeles has allowed the second least points in Southern California. So is it going to be defense or offense here this evening? So far, it's been the offense of the Vikings who have been prevailing in this one as Langston cuts the deficit. 59-54, 14:35 to go. Herrera will bring it up against Lindsay. Herrera down low, good pass. Langston tries to come up and swat it. Reverse layup good by Cameron Mahan. 61-54, Huskies trailing, 14:20 left. This is Hunt. Hands off to Lindsay. Lindsay will lift at the elbow. Splashes that one home.
Huskies going with the full court press now, trying to force some turnovers here by Long Beach. Long Beach, to their credit, their ball handling has been really good here.
We're now under 14 minutes. Johnson. That's Hunter. Under 10 seconds on a shot clock. Hunter drives and a foul called against Hunt of East LA. 13 minutes, 45 seconds.
Shane Hunter, a bit of a force in this game, using his frame really well. He's got a good handle. He's able to get in the paint because of his size as being a big power guard. He's kind of not being deterred by the contact the Huskies in terms of being able to get to where he wants to go in the paint as he misses that first free throw.
A substitution for the Vikings
Into the game will be Reginald Johnson. Out of the game is Cameron Mahan.
Now, the Huskies usually are deep in talent, but you don't want some of your key guys to end up getting in foul trouble. So that's something that we look for as that free throw is good. So 62-56, Huskies trail 13:44 left.
Sanders hands off to Scott. Scott behind the arc. Back to Hunt, above the key. Hunt loses the dribble on the far sideline. Turnover against East LA, so
I think he
a mental lapse there.
Mental lapse, yeah, because he was looking up. Maybe he thought maybe he was going to line up for a three-pointer, but yeah, mental lapse there. He picked his head up and took his mind off the dribble and just lost it.
Will Sanders come up with it? He does. Down low to Lindsey. Lindsey fighting against the contact. Gets it. No. Loose ball. Herrera, the smallest player on the court, comes up with it. Ahead. That's Marsh. Down low to Hunter. Hunter loses it. Loose ball. Viking basketball.
Huskies got to stay in it. They're fighting, but they're not. You see the frustration, and I feel like they're not getting the breaks from and getting the reward from their effort of trying to their defense causing all these loose balls. But it keeps getting hit off a Husky, but they still got to stay with it though.
Johnson against Sanders. Lifts for three. Loose ball being fought for. Huskies come up with it. That's Scott sprinting into the front court. From the wing to the lane. Runner too strong.
Got to use a bit of a Euro step there. He actually used it pretty well.
Both teams playing fast here. Here's Scott. Sanders spins. Lindsey to Scott. Scott floater. Too strong.
He's not taking the right angle on his shots at the rim.
Huskies down 6. 12:35 left. Spin move. Johnson is pure
That was
there.
impressive.
And now it's an 8-point lead for the Vikings.
Huskies got to mentally stay in it. You know, it looks like for a minute there, you could even argue that the Huskies tried to speed the game up to try to rattle Long Beach to get them out of rhythm. But Long Beach, to their credit, was able to stay with it. They made the plays. Huskies looked like they had like a 4-on-2, bit of a fast break, but kind of got swallowed up in the paint there and couldn't find the open man for an uncontested shot. As we get some stats here. There you go.
Again, Long Beach is the highest scoring team in Southern California. They average 86 points per game here. Well under that, but they're on pace to meet it.
Yeah, I mean, they're shooting 7 of 11 from the field so far in this second half, which is even better than the first half. And they've hit 3 out of 6 from downtown. So, again, they're just, right now, their offense is better than the Huskies' defense. And I can say that because there's some of these shots, yeah, their execution offensively, particularly their perimeter and their passing to get the open threes have been really good. But also they've hit some contested three-pointers as well, Dan.
8-point lead for the LBCC. ELAC struggling on offense. Can't seem to find a rhythm.
I think that's what you said is rhythm because they're actually getting to the basket. They're getting shots. It's just either it's rushing it or it's a little off balance, off angle.
Down low, that's Melvin. Melvin can't get it, but I believe he was fouled. Yeah, Lorenzo Marsh, the hometown product from Long Beach Poly, was fouled, or committed the foul, excuse me. 12-12 left. 12 minutes, 12 seconds, that is. Melvin with his 3rd point of the game there.
Substitution for the Vikings into the game, number 5. Cameron
Go! You and Cam switch.
Typically, the Huskies are good as far as accuracy. They're ranked number 14th when it comes to a field goal percentage at 48%. Here this evening, shooting below the 48% mark.
Coach Mosley in his practices focuses a lot on getting high percentage, high quality shots, and that's how he likes his offense to operate.
Huskies will have to chop wood at this one as Herrera goes off balance. Loose ball, Cofield reels it in. Here's Lindsay. Go slow things down for Mosley and the Huskies. Sanders now. Hands off to Lindsay. Attacking. Too strong. Put back attempts. No by the Huskies.
Huskies are fine with playing the game of getting more shots, taking more shots to their opponents, but they're going to have to start hitting some of these these offensive rebound second chance points. Oh, they call a block on the far sideline. They're saying that Cofield didn't allow the Long Beach player to establish position. I didn't think he bumped it out that bad. I think, but they felt that he impeded the path too much of the Long Beach player, so they called him for a block.
Substitution for ELAC into the
The
game.
slow scoring
Number 2,
affair
Noah
has
Scott.
really brought about a lot of frustration to the Huskies there. Cofield walking off in disgust.
And a substitution for the Vikings.
Well,
into
it's
the
frustrating
game,
because
number
you can
32,
see in certain
John.
aspects that some of their efforts hasn't been rewarded yet in terms of points. They're still able to get second chance shots, but their shots are just not falling for them right now. As they get a break there with the front end of a 1-and-1 being missed.
11:20 to go, second half. Lindsay to Scott. Scott at the free throw area. Back to the corner. Will dribble out of the corner is Lindsay. Back to Scott. 11:05 to go. Under 10 seconds on the shot clock. To a cutting Scott, too strong. Melvin put back. He's fouled.
And see, even though Melvin got fouled, there you go. Huskies got a shot, got a lane to the basket, missed the layup, got the offensive rebound. Now they got fouled, so they're going to the line, but they missed the putback. So they're going to the line for two, where they could have potentially had an and one there. So these are those little things and they missed the free throw. These are little things where their efforts are not turning into points.
Number 11.
Huskies, one of the worst free throw shooting teams in the state, ranked 83rd out of 96 teams.
83rd out of 96, and here I was early in the first half, applauding the fact that they look better from the free throw line this year.
11:01 left. Melvin gets one at least. 5-point lead by the Vikings.
You hear someone called DC as Demetrius Callip is set to check in on the next dead ball. And there you go, as Long Beach is called for a turnover. The ball bounced on the far sideline.
DC will be inserted for John Sanders. Vikings trying to play the role of road warriors here. Trying to come inside the arena and come away with the victory.
Like Callip is in for Scott, hoping Callip can maybe give a bit of a spark offensively. And there's a three-pointer. Good by Callip. That's one thing he can do is shoot that three. And we have a 2-point game, Dan.
10:35 to go. Here's Herrera. On top to Hunter. Against Melvin. Between his legs. Crossover move.
And there's a charge. Good D there by Melvin.
10:27 to go.
That's one way to stop the inside game of number 23 there for Long Beach, is to put a body in front of him before he gets to that restricted area in the paint. So good job by Melvin. Huskies put the ball down too.
There's Langston. Langston attacks. Langston gets stripped. No, he gets fouled. So the Huskies trying to break the 3-game win streak of LBCC. Huskies trying to extend their streak to 5 games.
What did we say earlier? The Huskies just had to kind of play this in waves. Okay? Like get to about the 10-minute mark with maybe a 5-point deficit. They're actually at 10:14 left. And with this free throw made, they're down 1, so they're actually doing a little bit better now. So they're starting to show some signs here of not just weathering the Long Beach Storm in terms of offense, but now they got a little bit of a spark now. They've been able to get some stops. They've been able to go to the line a bit more here. You got Demetrius Callip was able to come off the bench and hit a key 3. So
We got offensive foul down here.
Langston ties it up. 64 all at the 10-14 mark. Huskies apply the press. Hunter will bring it up for LBCC. Melvin in front of him. Hunter taking his time. He'll attack. Spinning. Pulling up. Too strong. Langston rebound. Here are the Huskies running. The pack in the front court. Euro step finger roll layup gives the Huskies the lead. 66-64, 9:40 to go.
Impressive move there by Donjay Lindsay to get to the rack.
Bernard Johnson against DC will lift the three, in and out. Scott rebound. Scott and the Huskies have numbers to the corner. Wide open, gets it. DC with a three-pointer.
Huskies starting to give back some of Long Beach's medicine to them, as we got a timeout here with the Huskies have a 10-point swing here. Not a lot of time. 10-point swing. The Huskies were down 5 maybe 2 minutes ago. Now they're up 5, 69-64. Demetrius Calip, big factor off the bench with his three-point shooting.
So the Huskies now 69. Vikings 64, 9:20 to go. We'll stay on the air. We'll try to get some stats here in a second. So Demetrius Calip has been the spark off the bench that they needed. Calip with 6 points off the bench. He's 100% from behind the arc.
Athletic director giving one of the assistant coaches some key pointers. I guess coaches never stop coaching, huh?
It'll be Viking basketball out of the timeout. 9:20 to go.
Huskies again pouring some full court pressure here. Changing up the defensive looks here. Trying to give Long Beach something else to think about.
I was going to say DC was guarding Johnson. Now it's Herrera. They push it to Mahan. Mahan off the left side of the rim into the hands of Lindsay. Lindsay at the logo with 8:50 to go. Lindsay attacking, off balance, too strong, ahead. That's Johnson.
Wasn't a really good shot. I think he got frustrated because he couldn't find anybody, but should have tried to swing that ball around.
And Shane Hunter against DC.
There's an offensive foul. Huskies think the Huskies are figuring out how to defend Shane Hunter there.
Calip definitely the spark off the bench that the Huskies needed, bringing that energy. As Reginald Johnson will check in. Bernard Johnson will step off. 3 players will come in for the Vikings as they try to give a new look to the Huskies. So on the floor for the Huskies will be Melvin, Scott, Langston, DC, and Sanders. 8:20 to go. Scott will take his time into the front court. Mosley barks into play. That's Sanders with the ball. To DC on the elbow. He'll drive. Off balance, too short.
Wondering if he was trying to sell some contact there. But you hear people cheering. DC playing some good man-man. Trying to get handsy there. Doesn't want to get too handsy. Long Beach kicks out for... Nope, it's up and down, double dribble. Huskies flew out to contest that 3. And you can see that Long Beach wasn't really prepared for the contestant. So it caused a double dribble.
A chance for the Huskies to pull away in this one at the 7:38 mark. Got a foul. Who's it against?
It looks like it's against Long Beach. They called it on number 4, Chris Herrera. As we hear Long Beach's head coach contesting. Not happy with the way things are going or the fact that it looks like the past few minutes the Huskies have been able to continually go to the line. So this will be a 1-on-1 situation for Sanders.
It's the head coach Barry Barnes of the Vikings in disagreement. Herrera landed on his bottom and then was called for a foul.
Hey, TK, out!
7 minutes, 37 seconds to go. If you're just joining us, an exciting match within the South Coast Conference, a crossover battle, South versus North.
Sanders on the front end of the 1-on-1. Good. I think I want to pay attention a bit down these last few minutes, these next few minutes with Shane Hunter, because now there's 2 times now he's gone to try to drive into the lane, and Huskies been able to put a body in front of him in the right place and draw offensive fouls. That second free throw is good. So will he continue to be aggressive getting into the paint with the Huskies having kind of figured out what to do to combat him getting into his spot in the paint?
Herrera against DC. Hands off to Marsh. Marsh attacks. Langston trying to use his length, but Marsh rattles it home. 71-66, Husky lead. There's Scott. Pushes it to Langston. Langston looking for somebody. Will instead try to back down Mahan. Langston goes to work. Langston against a triple team. The defense of the Vikings works there. Down low to Mahan, 2-hand flush by the Vikings.
What I'm seeing here, the Vikings are pretty good with going behind their back to kind of free up the dribble and to create passing lanes. Scott lines up for 3. That's off the front rim, no good.
Herrera sprinting. Herrera back to Johnson. Johnson ties it up, and a timeout called by Barry Barnes of the Vikings at the 6:37 mark. 71 all here on Sportsnet, USA.net. Exciting times inside the arena. A 71 all ball game. 6:37 to go. This one has the feel of it coming down to a last possession.
Yeah, it's starting to look that way. It's been a ship that keeps rocking back and forth. You had Long Beach with the momentum, then the Huskies took it back, and now Long Beach quickly, I should say, has answered, and now we have a tie game, 71 all.
It'll be Husky basketball out of the timeout. Huskies look like they're going to have to face a full court press here, or a makeshift press, or just follow East LA into the front court. Melvin on the right elbow. He'll attack. Can't get it. DC tries to tap it in. Rebound, Vikings. Marsh from the corner. Ahead to Johnson. Wide open lane. Hunter. Viking lead now. 73-71. 6:10 left.
Again, you see the Huskies getting to the paint. They got an offensive rebound, but they're not getting these putbacks.
Here's Sanders attacking and losing the basketball. Herrera will be credited with the steal. Herrera down low to Mahan.
Good strip there by Sanders.
Yeah, Sanders with the slap.
To prevent the easy layup. Long Beach will have to reset. Quick inbound for the 3. The splash. Lorenzo Marsh, who's been pretty deadly here in his minutes.
5-point lead once again for the Vikings.
Huskies got to stay in it. This is a team that can score points quickly as Demetrius Caleb tries a 3, and he splashes that.
76
from the far
74,
wing.
5:30 to go. Here's Herrera trying to spoil the fun of the Huskies. He's got the Kobe Grinch shoes on. Herrera driving. Euro step off the glass.
Looks like he might have dragged his foot there. You said the Grinch. I thought there was Mountain Dew shoes.
78-74, 5:10 to go. Husky bench chanting defense. In and out. Cofield.
And one.
Gets it.
That's what they've been waiting on. finally get one of these putbacks and be able to get to the line for the three-point play.
Foul charge, number 5, Cameron May.
Of course, Long Beach head coach does not agree
And a substitution for the Huskies.
with the call, but ELAC Holyfield will go to the line. So in the books, the refs are issuing a warning to Long Beach City.
Come and talk to me. Don't say warning to the table without coming to talk to me.
Cofield at the line.
Barry Barnes upset at the officiating crew.
Free throw rimmed out. Battle for the rebound. Melvin with the putback and good. Tie game there at 78. All 4:51 and counting left. That's what the Huskies need to do. They need to get those. They need to convert those offensive rebounds into putbacks. And there's a foul on Sanders. Got a little too handsy on the perimeter.
4:43 to go.
Foul charge for the Huskies, number 10.
So it's going to be a 1-and-1 for Long Beach.
Barry Barnes livid as can be.
For the Vikings.
Coach Mosley, calm and collected, hands on his hip.
Shooting 1-1.
Opposite of the Long Beach coach.
Typically, it's the other way around, right?
Yeah. As that free throw rims out, Huskies with the rebound.
Caleb quickly attacking. Off balance, off hand. Caleb gives East LA the lead, 80-78, 4:30 to go.
There was a time when you wouldn't think a guard would go 1-on-2 or 1-on-3, but nowadays with that Euro step, guys can do that. As Long Beach lets three-point fly and hits it, 81-80 now. Huskies trail by 1, 4:15 and counting left.
Back and forth they go. Huskies will slow it down. 4:05 left.
Stay with him.
That's Cofield. The SCC Player of the Year last year with the spin move, too strong. Melvin there fighting. Herrera pleading with the officials, saying that he got all ball. Not the case. Got the hand of Melvin, so Melvin will go to the line for 2. Intense ball game all of a sudden, partner.
Yes, very intense. We can feel the intensity from the Long Beach side as that free throw rattles out by Melvin. So Huskies get another chance here to tie with the second free throw attempt.
So Javon Fuse makes his first appearance for Long Beach as Reginald Johnson will step off. A chance to tie here. Gets it.
Huskies try to show some pressure here. Again, they've been trying to rattle the ball handlers here at Long Beach. You got to give Long Beach credit. Their guards have been played really well against pressure. This is a long three.
Johnson.
Wow.
From
Just drains it.
28 feet out. 84-81. Exciting times here.
Sanders tries to answer.
Responds. No. Oh, he's fouled on his attempt. So he'll get a chance to tie it up at the line. 3:34 to go.
And look at the call the ref made. He kind of stepped on his foot there. It looks like he's indicating that the defender came down on Sanders' landing space, which, again, was the point of contention against Porterville. Well, in this case, Sanders did not kick his foot out. Let's say that. He didn't stick his foot out. He wasn't trying to bait the foul. But
as we'll send a shout-out to Ventura for refereeing. Anyway. 3:34 left as Sanders misses the first one.
The only thing we'll say to that is that we have an NBA referee who's willing to vouch for that being the correct call 2 nights ago.
Here's Sanders. Second attempt.
It's been quite a while since the Huskies have dropped one on their home court here, haven't it? And
we have to go back to the 2018 campaign where East Los Angeles was upset by Santa Monica.
And Huskies have been pretty dominant, so dominant at home with that free throw miss. But the offensive rebound to JT Langston. Sanders lines up for 3. Splash!
Sanders gives East LA the lead, 85-84. 3:20 to go. Herrera Looks at Barnes, gets the call in. Herrera will lift from the free throw area. Too strong. Langston rebound. Here's Callip. Callip and the Huskies will take their time here. Under 3 minutes to go. Cross court pass to Sanders. Back to Callip. 2:50 left. Under 10 seconds. Huskies will go now. 6 seconds on the shot clock. 3 seconds. Sanders to a cutting Callip. That's Cofield, actually.
Cofield
On the left side, makes it an 87-84 ball game. 2:40 to go.
Huskies, that was well done in terms of being able to use the shot clock, use some time, take their time, wait for their opportunity. Looks like Sanders was going to try and get one off of the paint, but he saw Cofield cutting into the paint at the right time, dumped off the pass, got the shot, got it to drop, and got the foul call.
Here's Cofield, who'll try to complete three-point play in the air. Rims out, loose ball. Cofield comes up with it. Cofield back outside. Callip. They'll reset the offense here. Callip doing the intelligent thing of just holding it now, as the Huskies look like they're just trying to milk it. 2:20 left. Under 10 seconds now on the shot clock. 5 seconds to go on the shot clock. Here's Lindsay spinning against a triple team. Too strong. Cofield again. The South Coast Conference reigning player of the year, making a second big play at the 2:08 mark. Huskies 89, Vikings 84, here on the SportsNetUSA.net. .208 to go as the Huskies hold on to an 89-84 lead. Thankful and grateful you could join us for an exciting ball game here.
Grateful for everyone who's taken some time off from streaming Last Chance U to watch the Huskies live here. So we got 2 minutes to go. Huskies performing late for a 5-point lead, but Callip gets called for a block. A little too zealous on the defense there. Probably didn't need to do that so far away from the basket, especially being that Long Beach is in the 1-on-1 situation here.
Coach Mosley just mentioned that they got to balance out the calls because lately all the Huskies have been getting all the calls, so probably the referee's trying to give one back to the Vikings as Cofield comes up with a big rebound. 1:50 left. Sanders being harassed by Bernard Johnson. Huskies will milk it. 1:40 to go. 10 seconds on the shot clock. 5 seconds to go. Langston reverse layup, no good as he slides on his chest.
So you see what the Huskies are looking to do. They're looking to milk the clock on the perimeter, wait till about under 10 seconds left, and then one of the guards, either Sanders or even Callip or even Donjay Lindsay, drive into the lane. You got a Husky forward, either Cofield or JT Langston, cutting for that dump-off pass, and then they're going to get the layup attempt, try to get one in, try to convert a layup or draw the foul. In this case, JT Langston is going to the line because he's going to foul for 2. So now, if he can hit the 2, now you're talking about a number of possessions come into play, as that first free throw is good. With a 6-point lead, you're talking about a 2-possession game. If he can hit this next free throw, it'll be a 7-point lead, and now it'll be a 3-possession game. So that'll start to weigh heavily on the impact of this game. That free throw is good. So 91-84, 129 left, and
Vikings have a substitution.
so we're going to start over as Long Beach had a substitute that they were calling in but wasn't reported.
A minute 29 left.
Huskies, again, going full court with their pressure.
Into the front court, that's Johnson. Will launch one from 30 feet out, airballs it straight into the hands of Cofield. Huskies will run it out here.
Other than trying to draw a foul, I'm not sure what the purpose of that shot was.
A minute 10 left. Yeah, the Huskies will just milk the clock for all it's worth. That's DC attacks and hammers it home.
93-84, under a minute to go.
Here's
Huskies
Johnson.
try
to
to
the corner.
squeeze.
Serta. That's Marsh. Ooh, Sanders hobbling. Let's hope that's not a serious injury.
Shot. Foul charge number 10. Jonathan Sanders.
Sanders got called for the foul, but you could argue that he was the one that his foot got landed on, as now he's being held to the sideline.
Ooh.
Trying to get the trainer coming out. Well, hopefully it's not serious.
Hopefully that's just a cramp.
Yeah. Like I said, the guy just kind of fell on his leg.
I believe that's a cramp. It looked like his muscle was really tense, his calf muscle. There you go. Yeah, he'll be all right.
Coach Hunter, Assistant Coach Hunter yelling at everyone on the line.
Marsh at the line for the Vikings.
Sanders, a critical part of the Huskies with 46.6 to go. He's the only one on the Huskies who's actually committed to a school at this point in the season, as the first free throw by Marsh is off the mark. 46.6, 93-84 Husky lead.
So you're talking about a combat of styles. And what we're seeing in this game is that second free throw is good. As we have a timeout here, what we're seeing is at what points of the game can one team exert their style and their energy and effort on the game. So we've seen points where Long Beach has exerted their force, exerted their style of play with their perimeter shooting and three-point shooting. But what we're seeing here in the past 5-6 minutes is that the Huskies have taken that opportunity to exert their style of play and stamp onto the game. They've been able to get to the line. They've been able to start to convert these offensive rebounds that they're so adept at getting, as we get some stats here. And they were able to hit a couple of three-pointers as well. As our offensive coordinator, Juan Drummer, decides he wants to look at some stats. Huskies with Corey Cofield, who's we can say has definitely come alive. He had a pretty decent first half, but he's come alive here again in the second half. 8 of 12 shooting for 17 points. JT Langston has lived at the line. 14 free throws for JT Langston. He's converted 11 of them. He's good for 15 points and 13 rebounds, a double-double for him with 2 block shots. So a very excellent game, work-like game for him.
On the floor for the Huskies, Cofield, Scott, DC, Lindsey, Langston. Into the hands of DC, facing the full court. They'll have to hurry. They'll have to hurry into the front court. They barely get it into the front court in time. Lindsey nearly loses it. 30 seconds to go. 10 seconds on the shot clock.
You don't have to, it's our ball.
Here's Scott driving, left hand too strong. Put back once again, Cofield.
Cofield with a Husky 2.
And that should do it. 10-point lead for East LA. Marsh from the elbow, off the back iron. It's Cofield who will run it out. And the Huskies come up with victory number 8 of the season here at home in front of the home crowd with a 95-85 victory. East Los Angeles is now 8-2 and are on a 5-game win streak. The Vikings, they move to 10-5, and their 3-game win streak is snapped here on the road.
And you got to think with this 5-game win streak, hopefully we can get Coach Mosley to talk with you. We think with this 5-game win streak, the Huskies going to shoot up the state rankings when they come out next week.
Yeah, state rankings come out Monday or Tuesday evening, and currently the Huskies are ranked number 12. And so we should expect them to crack the top 10.
Oh, I would think so. I would think so. A 5-game win streak against ranked opponents, particularly beating a number 1 team, and at the time with Cerritos. This is a good win. Coach Mosley hammering it up with Bobby Gudino and some of the assistant coaches, and we got Steven got Coach Mosley on the Twitter. Good crowd tonight. We said it's over 300 people.
So that'll do it for us here this evening. The Huskies will move on to travel Tuesday night to West Valley, and then they'll head to the Cuyamaca Classic for a 3-day tournament to finish out the calendar year. Our next game here on SportsNetUSA.net will be January the 8th. That's a Friday against LA Southwest. So for Cerwin D. Haynes, Ed Ford, Albert, our director, I'm Dan Gudino. Everybody have a good night. Huskies win it 95-85 over Long Beach.
Peace.